Morning.
Turtle on a fence post. Did you ever do that?
No.
I've never done that.
No.
Pushing the limits, just like flying squirrels. That's what we're doing today.
Okay.
And then there's science. There's so much science. And then storage. Oh, man. You'll never guess what shows up in some of those storage sheds. And more for Friday morning, December 27th, 2024, day 382 of Face the Sun on Facebook and day 33 on YouTube.
Took some days off in there. I didn't redo our calendar.
Yeah, that's true.
Happy birthday, Cindy Nicolason.
Oh, happy birthday.
And it's Gwen and Rod's, what did I say,
49.
49th wedding anniversary. Wow. Yeah.
So, on that turtle on the fence post, we'll talk about that real soon. So the sun comes up at 8:05. It did already, I guess. And goes down tonight at 4:53.
Yeah, we're just a little tardy today.
We're just a little party today.
Good morning, Karen. Tyler.
We're
Gwen and
party-
Rod's 49th wedding anniversary today. Yeah, we had a good Christmas. And did you too?
Good Christmas. It's December 27th. And the weather around the countryside, the United States to lead off. In the Northeast, it's going to be mild with temps above normal, about 41 degrees
You.
up there in that skinny little tail. Cloudy skies for everybody. In the Midwest, cold with some snow showers, especially near the Great Lakes, temperatures around 23. In the Southeast, generally warmer, with an average rain showers with an average temp of right there around 59. And in the Southwest, warm and dry conditions prevail with temps reaching 68. There you go. It will welcome the spotlight. Okay. So the Northwest, cooler temps 37. In our area, Watertown, South Dakota, the temp is expected to get to about 37. And the sun's going to come out, they say. But I think it's going to be a battle.
The fog has been really something here.
Should we talk about headlights and fog?
Yeah, don't trust your daytime running lights. You got no tail lights. We drove in heavy, dense fog on the 24th.
26th, day after Christmas.
That's when we come home. But there and back,
Oh,
people
there
just
and
had
back.
their running lights on. It was insane.
Yeah.
You could barely see them. You need your full-on headlights because then you have your tail lights.
Yeah.
Don't trust it. That's the worst mechanism ever put on a car in the history of putting something on a car.
Yeah.
You got no stinking tail lights.
Yeah.
That's pathetic.
And then just to pull it one notch out and have your running lights on doesn't cost you anything.
Or if your mind twists, but
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
that's
So
terrible.
turn your lights on.
Full on.
Full on.
Get rid of that auto crap. It's bad. It's bad. It's dangerous. Man. Stupidest invention ever.
Eastern Canada, mixed precip with some areas getting snow and others getting rain, depending on the elevation. Halifax is experiencing light snow on 19. Australia is currently experiencing its summer season.
Crazy.
In northern Australia, it's hot and humid with occasional thunderstorms. Temps around 95. In southern Australia, warm with dry conditions, typical of an Australian summer, and temperatures around 77.
No, I didn't put on my big long blue coat because it's not hot enough, but I need it on my legs.
Oh.
Want me to- Wild.
Oh.
No, I'll be fine. I'm just thinking,
Oh, look at all these local birthdays. Rhonda McKeever, Shelley Lewandowski, James Marquardt, Tom LaPointe, Nancy Byer, Cindy Nicolason, Josh Y.,
hey,
and happy anniversary, Rod and Gwen.
my sister and brother-in-law,
Rod and Gwen.
Olson. Yeah, it's their wedding anniversary. 49 years. Wow.
Yeah, 49 years.
Yeah.
God. Ah, the old human body. It's built to match our physical needs. And as a species, we have the drive to push our physical limits even harder. Taking inspiration from a majestic flying squirrel, wingsuits are designed to provide extreme sports people with a new body shape, one that allows them to maximize their flying potential. The ability to jump off a cliff edge or a plane and soar through the sky was once deemed possible only for those winged beings out there and maybe some fantasy heroes. But these special outfits give those who are brave enough to take the chance to join native sky dwellers. Wingsuits are designed for base jumping, and base stands for buildings, antennas, skydivers, and Earth. So,
Jump
base.
off Earth. There. Jump off Earth.
Well, you can if you go to the canyons.
No. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Ah.
Keep your feet on the ground.
Good. I know it's you see it in the movies that I like, but I'm just like, holy smokes.
Yeah. Yeah. Base jumpers, they'll jump off of anything. They'll jump out of buildings, they'll jump off of cliffs. Meanwhile, skydivers like to jump from helicopters and planes, while base jumpers, they'll jump off anything. It was a Finnish base jumper, Chris Jari Kuzman, who invented today's modern wingsuit as he stood over a cliff top in Italy. Gliding animals make it look easy, but the ability to soar with the air and with these wingsuits has been manufactured using carefully applied science.
Physics.
Science is a physics. Physics is
I
science.
just says physics.
Oh. What's the next word after that?
After.
After. Okay. After observing the wings of a flying animal, humans worked out the ideal shape for flight. The shape, called the aerofoil, has been applied to the wings of planes as well as wingsuits. And then what is the difference between a bad golfer and a bad skydiver? A golfer goes whack and then says, oh heck. A bad skydiver goes, oh heck, and then says whack.
I bet, Ben John. Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah, But there's a chance that something's going to end up hurting me. With my back surgery and my heart surgery and all those other things that I'm like, I'm not doing nothing that I could end up hurt. And I could end up hurt doing anything else too, though. So
Yeah.
falling down in the house on a flat floor.
Yeah, that's
not
really
jumping
true.
off nothing.
Yeah, that's really true. Hi, Wes Torque. I pegged Ben John. Did we say hi to Karen Tyler yet?
Nice to see you too, Wes Torquey.
Good morning, Jim and Brenda. Oh, nice to see you. Okay, that's the one you read. Interesting. Is that what Peg said?
Yeah, that squirrel monkey suit. I don't know.
Yeah. It's probably pretty fun once you get used to it, but I bet those first 2 or 3 jumps, I don't know. And I think they wear a parachute. That's how they get out of the sky. At the end, they make that chute open.
I don't know.
Yeah. I would hope. I don't know. I don't think you can control that landing with that suit.
I have no idea. I don't want to know.
There's an old joke. It goes like this. Or is this an old saying? If you see a turtle on a fence post, you know it didn't get there by itself. I've never heard of this before. This humorous saying is often used to suggest that if someone is in an unlikely position, like a turtle on a fence post, they probably didn't get there without help, indicating that behind an unusual or seemingly unexplainable situation, there's often assistance and intervention from others.
Morning, Carrie Lee.
Here are some historical examples that reflect the essence of the turtle on the fence post adage, where individuals reach prominent positions or achieve significant feats with the help of others. Alexander Hamilton. As a founding father of the United States, Hamilton's rise from an orphan child in the Caribbean to a key architect of the U.S. financial system was facilitated by patrons who recognized his intelligence and funded his education. That's a nice one. And then Marie Curie, the first woman to win a Nobel Prize and the only person to win in two different sciences. Physics and chemistry were her strong points. Marie Curie's research was supported by her husband, Pierre Curie, and various scientific patrons who provided her with the necessary resources and collaboration. And then there's Nelson Mandela. He had his own turtle on a fence post. His pivotal role in ending apartheid, becoming the first black president of South Africa, that was not a solo effort. It involved the support and struggle of countless individuals and international allies who fought against racial segregation and injustice.
Morning, Ike Borchert.
Boy, the Wright brothers are getting a lot of attention.
Ike says, top of the morning, looks like a wonderful day.
It does look like a wonderful day.
It's kind of wet and slippery out here in the yard and a little muddy.
Yeah.
Walking the dog, it's like,
Yeah. Yeah. The Wright brothers, Orville and Wilbur, they're credited with inventing and building the world's first successful motor-operated airplane. They relied on each other's mechanical expertise and encouragement, demonstrating the power of collaboration. And then there's Rosalind Franklin. Her crucial contributions to understanding the molecular structures of the DNA depended on teamwork with her laboratory as well as the use of her X-ray by other scientists who eventually received more recognition for the discovery of DNA's complex helix structure. These examples highlight how behind every significant achievement, there is often an unsung hero and collaborators who contribute to the individual's success. Much like someone placing a turtle on a fence post, a historical example that embodies the concept of that turtle on the post is the story of Harry S. Truman becoming president of the United States. As a relatively unknown politician from Missouri, he was the vice president under Franklin D. Roosevelt. After Roosevelt's unexpected death in 1945, Truman was thrust into the presidency during a critical period that included the final stages of World War II and the beginning of the Cold War. Truman's rise to the presidency was likely due to Roosevelt's decision to replace Henry Wallace as his running mate in 1944 with someone who was deemed more acceptable to various factions of the Democratic Party. Truman's subsequent leadership decisions, such as the use of the atomic bombs on Japan and the establishment of the Truman Doctrine and the Marshall Plan, had profound and lasting impacts on the U.S. and the world. His presidency illustrates how an individual can find themselves in a significant position due to circumstances and decisions beyond their own making. Much like a turtle being placed on a fence post.
West Turkey says, 42 today and then 45 tomorrow.
Yeah.
He says, beautiful, this weather is beautiful. Snow is not much left. Yeah, we don't, there's a little here and there.
Yeah.
Not much either. It's more wet and icy and wet and slippery and muddy in the driveway.
It looks like a spring thaw out there is what it looks like.
Yeah, it's in the plenty for the dog to walk in and
Yeah.
drinking out of the puddles. You just got to like try and tug him along, but you can't. Yeah, it's like, it's pretty muddy.
It's pretty muddy. Did he wipe his feet off before he came in?
No, he just tracked all the way in. Then he climbed the walls and then he went over the ceiling. He did not stop.
Those little prints are so cute up the wall and across the ceiling. The guy defies gravity.
Mm-hmm.
Here are some fun and interesting facts about science. I think you're going to be surprised by at least 3 of these. So
Okay.
can you kind of keep track?
Don't count on me, no.
50% of the world's oxygen comes from the sea.
Oh.
While rainforests are often credited with the oxygen production, about half of the world's oxygen is generated by oceanic organisms like plankton and seaweed.
Hmm.
I didn't know that. There are more trees on Earth than stars in our galaxy.
Wow.
I don't know.
Who
That,
counted?
yeah, I don't know. Uh, that one, I don't know. Estimates suggest there are 3.4 trillion trees on Earth, far exceeding the estimated 100 to 400 billion stars in the Milky Way.
Oh.
It's just the Milky Way they're talking about, I guess. Did you know your left lung is smaller than your right lung?
Mm-mm.
Huh. The left lung is about 10% smaller due to the space occupied by your heart.
Hmm.
Next, we have a fact to discuss most students who love their earphones or their headsets. Research has shown that wearing an earphone for an hour can cause normal bacteria found in the ear canal to increase 700 times.
Hmm.
No way. This can lead to an increase in wax, which can further increase the bacterial breeding ground. Whilst we're talking about the human body, did you know that it's impossible for a person to burp when they're in space,
Hmm.
outer space? And that's due to the lack of gravity found in space.
Hmm.
When a person releases a burp on Earth, that gas comes from their digestive system. But escaping from Earth's gravitational forces keep the solids and the liquids firmly in the stomach.
Very interesting.
Very interesting.
Hmm.
In space, the absence of gravity means that if a person does burp, any undigested food will come back up and a person will vomit. It's a delightful thought to share with your students, but don't belch in space, I guess.
What does Joanne Volkanut say? Hosting?
80th birthday party at Marvin Wind Durlop. Got to get moving. Marvin's. Yeah, Marvin Wind's Durlop.
Here, maybe if I tap it over there, it's not bigger.
Yeah.
But what does it say? I don't, what's a Marvin Win? Marvin's?
Well, Marvin Wind's
Mm.
Dunlop. Got to get moving.
I must be a person.
Yeah, I'd say Marvin Wind.
Somebody you know?
No, not yet. We'll all meet one day, and then we'll talk about this day when we talked about him before we knew him.
It could happen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mechanics, they're a different breed of cat, aren't they?
Oh, Huron, South Dakota.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Marvin, Huron. It's so hard to read without glasses. Oh, man. Marvin, yep.
Oh, he lives in Marvin.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. We're catching up. We're catching up. Mechanics, they're a cool breed of cat. And skilled mechanics often reveal a disconnect between the hiring process designed by human resource departments and the unique mindset of these hand-on professionals. Mechanics excel through kinesthetic learning and meticulous attention to detail, often making traditional, lengthy hiring processes a poor fit. So let's explore the mechanic's mindset that highlights why conventional approaches may fail and other practical solutions for the companies looking to attract and retain top talent. We'll talk about that. And, Lake Area Tech has a good mechanic school. Streamlining seems to be what they're looking for. They don't want to go through a bunch of interviews. They don't want to sit around and answer a bunch of questions. They know their job. They just want to go to work. Streamlining is key to attract top mechanics in the competitive market where job postings often go unfilled for months. Cutting unnecessary steps in the hiring process can make a company more attractive to the candidates. Streamlined hiring involves reducing paperwork and reduce the number of interviews for sure in favor of a more targeted evaluation. For instance, offering a combination of technical interviews and on-site practical assessments ensures that on the hiring focuses on what the mechanics do best, working with their hands. According to a 2023 survey from the National Association of Manufacturers, companies that streamline hiring for mechanics reduce their hire time by 25%. Bridging the gap between HR and mechanics requires an understanding of how mechanics think and how they work. Companies that adapt by incorporating practical assessments, streamlining the hiring process, and fostering strong connections between HR and technicians will only attract the best talent, but will also retain a highly skilled workforce capable of long term success.
Susie 807 says, hope you had a great Christmas season. Welcome back. Thank you. And Joanne Volkanot says, used to.
Used to.
So he used to live in Marvin?
I would think so. I don't know. I can't tell from here. So here's this guy. Gary and Marie Suman do this all the time. A man received much more than he bargained for from a simple $500 purchase. It all started when the lucky buyer bought a storage unit from Storage Wars auctioneer. That's Dan Dutson. The U.S. show focuses on the tales of locked up storage units that have been untouched and unpaid for 3 months. The owner of the storage units is then allowed to auction them without knowing what's inside. In past episodes, people have acquired classic cars and unusual hidden gems, but one man found himself $7.5 million richer.
Wow.
An older Asian woman sitting at a table kept looking at the people around there like she wanted to tell them something. That auctioneer shared on his joint YouTube channel with his wife and fellow auctioneer Laura Dotson. Eventually, she walked up and told me her husband works with a guy who bought a unit from me for $500 and found a safe inside. He went on to claim that the buyer brought someone in to open up the unit, but they couldn't do it. They called a second worker, and he came and popped that safe open. This time it wasn't empty. It had $7.5 million in cash inside of a unit. You wouldn't think that if it was yours, I don't think you'd forget it. But maybe you were just in a position where somebody else was in charge. Dotson says he doesn't know. While it was unclear where the money had come from, his wife speculated they probably moved away. Perhaps the person went to jail, or who knows what happened to the former owner.
Wow.
But
West Turkey's going off to Marshall to get some groceries. Will drive safe. Dale Christensen went to Marvin
oh,
Public with
Dale Christensen went to public school in Marvin with Win and Pat.
Okay.
Wow, small world. I'd never guessed that Dale Christensen got his basic education at Marvin, South Dakota. That's a cool neighborhood. That's a hilly, wild country up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Tax implications that significantly influence the selection and delivery of aircraft.
Hmm.
Hmm. You're about to learn how they can dodge taxes when buying an airplane.
Hmm.
It's like that $7 million. I bet that story's not over yet. You know, $7 million. You know the IRS or somebody's going to catch wind of that, and that stuff probably has all kinds of clues all over it as to where it came from. There could be one of those exploding die packs in there if it was robbed from a bank, or could be drug money. So if your nose runs while you're in there, don't be sniffing anything. Anyhow, these guys buying airplanes, some states don't have sales tax, making them an attractive delivery location. Alaska doesn't, neither does Delaware or Montana or New Hampshire or Oregon.
Hmm.
Other states like North Carolina and South Carolina have very low sales tax on aircraft sales.
Hmm.
And other states, some real low sales taxes on aircraft sales. Many other states offer flyaway exemptions for non-residents buying aircraft. So they'll let you buy it there and they won't charge you any tax.
I always thought when you get back to wherever you live, if there's sales tax, you have to pay it wherever you live on whatever you bought.
You have to buy like a license, you have to buy a sticker. And that's the only, it's like a sales tax on a car. To get it registered, you pay the sales tax. Yeah.
Is it sales? I don't know what it is. Excise. It is some kind of tax.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
But it's only the cost of a license plate. I don't know. Anyhow, these guys, I don't know, that's pretty close to the edge for me. Tax implications, stay away from them. While dealers don't typically arrange deliveries specifically for tax purposes, uh-huh, buyers and sellers are often aware of tax implications. Some states have lower or no sales tax equipment on farm equipment, which can influence where buyers to choose to make their purchases. And I've seen that in action, where the guy run into town, look at something at the implement dealer, and then have it delivered to the farm and pay for it on the farm, where the tax is only 4% instead of 6% in Watertown, which can influence the buyers to make that purchase. The location where the sale is finalized and where the equipment is first used can affect tax liability too. And while the tax considerations can influence purchasing help me with this, decisions
Hmm.
from implement dealerships, primary delivery equipment such as service to their customers, rather than as a tax avoidance strategy. I am so lost in this sentence. Oh, they deliver the equipment rapid as a service to their customers, they say. Now, we're not dodging taxes here. This is a service to the customer. Yeah, I guess it could be. What kind of a tractor comes in a box? A case. What did John Deere say to Alice Chalmers? John Deere and Alice Chalmers. They had a good relationship. John Deere said to the Alice Chalmers the night they were married, he said, "Good night, Alice, dear."
That's cute.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got, kids.
Yep.
That was fun.
So we don't have our phone out here to know what time
Oh,
come out here, but tonight.
yeah. Phone's never far away from us, is it? Let's see what time the sun goes down. And the sun goes down 4:53. 7
So,
minutes before 5.
so we're out here half hour before that.
Yeah. I'm going to see you there. Thanks for being there, kids.
Yep. Have fun. Be careful.
Yeah.
It is slippery.
It is slippery around the countryside.